I was sick, I was sleeping. But they had surrounded the home and all roads around for 2 hours.
Imagine that.
A Prado, police pickup, a police van, these common vehicles now they use for taxi or what? No. A wish.
Oh,
A border.
Oh my God.
And then when you look backwards, I'm sure people who do now those fake operations, they had a huge budget. I woke up, took a shower. As I had just entered the bathroom, they walked up to my bedroom.
Wow.
With guns.
Wow.
So I asked them, I said, you people, you go around the house. There is no escape where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So go and wait for me in the sitting room. I've been told you're here. And I'm now naked in the bathroom. So I opened the door. I told them, if you want to come in, you are welcome to join me. But I will take my shower, dress up, and come and interface with you. They kept guard on the bathroom door.
And yes, indeed, presenting to you from these United States of the America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me, and at whatever time you might watch this conversation. My name is Mordecai Morisa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Morisa Live. Ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, we learned about the arrest of that wonderful lady. That's Sarah Bireete. She's the executive director for Center for Constitutional Governance in Uganda. She was charged with, those dubious charges they usually come up with. I think one of them was social media abuse, sharing misleading information and stuff like that. And you remember, we raised our voices. Many people were putting out tweets, and others. Everyone was trying whatever they could within their means to see of how we can fight for her freedom. Now, she was partially granted her freedom. And I don't want to call it freedom because she still lives under the belly of a monster, and that is Yoweri Museveni's regime. But really, beyond the headlines of her arrest, lied a far troubling story which exposes the weight of state power that is brought down on a single civilian voice. You're going to listen to what she says of how she was arrested. Unbelievable. And I'll do some commentary here. Let's listen in.
Each time, and casually, and I was taking note, because, these guys have been here for 40 years. We know a lot of ways they do certain things. Mm-hmm. So you would meet a casual person in the maybe before before immigration point, or before check-in, or in the middle as you rush with your luggage to catch up with people coming to pick you. But sir, how come you travel at least twice a month? Because it's true, I was almost traveling every week. So that became a problem for people. What do you travel to do? But I'm like, I always share all details. Immigration, where are you going? Conference, what? And we had, to avoid such things, we thought we were sharing information that people who are concerned by success and networking of people, they would get information. Because all of it was available at our handles. Attending this meeting, attending this summit, attending. Mm-hmm. But they thought maybe there's something we are hiding.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of projection here, because they know they usually engage in extremely dangerous operations. So that usually afraid that, you must be doing the same thing I'm doing. How come you have so many friends? I usually see Mohozi stooges who usually descend into my comment section and of my post, and they'd be like, "You are in America. America is not going to do anything." Dude, I'm not here asking for America to do anything. I'm here trying to raise a voice to the Ugandan people to do something. But because they know that, um, um, every relationship is some sort of friends for benefit. Oh, if you have these friends that are doing for you something in return for, no, you can just be a sane, normal human being.
It is not shared on social media. So every time there will be somebody different to ask me. The last person who asked me claimed that he was from my district and said, by then we are coming from a meeting in Brussels, and said, but how can an NGO work with everybody in the world? How can NGO? How can it work with everybody in the world?
And I'm sorry, it's not about me, but this is a little bit related. I had, again, a few minions and sycophants of Muhoozi claiming that Bobby Wine built me a studio in the USA. How come? Some of them have actually argued, you're always on social media talking about Uganda. Where'd you get all that time? There's someone who funds you. Not really. You can invest in yourself. You can spare some time for your country. You don't have to be paid. You don't have to be sponsored. You can take it upon yourself if you know what you're doing is right. You forego some of other projects in pursuit to make sure that your country works like a good country.
You are a part of, for the record, I am the current president of East Africa Civil Society Forum. I'm the chairperson of Eastern Horn of Africa Election Observers Network.
Yep.
I'm also the global chairperson for the global network of domestic election observers.
Oh my.
So you have one
makes them afraid.
Agency based in Tanzania, another agency based in Nairobi. I'm also the vice chairperson of the Africa Election Observers Network, AFIONET, and our coordinator is here, Henry Muguzi. So these titles became a problem in terms of security profiling. What kind of person is this? Because they are crimes that are put on paper, and they are crimes that were casually told to my people as they were running around, told to that police. I was guarded like a terrorist in Natete station. I think on day 2. Security was amplified. Class, they call it what? Class 1. Eh? I kept asking, I said, how can you treat a mere civil society activist like a terrorist? So on 20...
And I'll explain that, why they do that. To a criminal regime like that of Museveni that is usually on a panic mode, to pull off an operation of arresting Bireete, it is not just a mere arrest. It is a spectacle. They want to create an image that instills fear in people. See what we've done to Bireete, now dare ask us questions. That's what they're doing, basically.
On 25th, as we came from church on Christmas, we saw a Prado trailing me with the children. And I told them, because we always share, trading is a common phenomenon with activists and HRDs. So I told them, I said that Prado is trading me.
Wow.
So, and there are ways to actually confirm, and I did confirm. And the Prado zigzagged on where to go. I know now the driver of that Prado. Of course, the cameras at home captured the details. The other day, somebody was saying, Sarah, if you say your home was under siege, how come we didn't see pictures? So I'm like, you see pictures and do what? Yeah, the case is in court. So it came on that 30th. It's the same Prado that led the operation in a convoy of 5 vehicles, including a long van. to arrest a mere civil society activist.
Imagine that.
Because I will share now what happened at home.
Mm-hmm.
So when we realized we were under siege, because it was Christmas, really nobody was bothered. But by the time we realized, they had been around for 2 hours. That's now what is coming from the camera. But because we were in Christmas, nobody was going home, just the kids playing. I was sick, I was sleeping. But they had surrounded the home and all roads around for 2 hours.
Imagine that.
A Prado, police pickup, a police van, these common vehicles now they use for taxi or what? No. A wish, a border.
Oh my God.
And then when you look backwards, I'm sure people who do now those fake operations, they had a huge budget because they had done that for quite some time.
She's crying.
So you can imagine the waste of taxpayers' money.
Exactly. And that's what they don't even think about. Never. How much resources do you need to arrest Sarah Bireete? You could summon her. She will show up at any police station. But like I told you, to them, an arrest is not an ordinary arrest. To them, they want to make a statement. It is more about the evil. There's that book. What is it called? Evil is the mission. I'm forgetting the title. But they want to show you how dark, how bad they are. So that triggers that emotion of fear in you that you don't raise your voice at all. But at what cost are they instilling fear? Deploying over 20 people, how many cars and motorcycles, all for one person. A regime that is in panic mode.
So when my sister, she's here, maybe you can just, she's the one who first interfaced with the whole gang of a mix of soldiers and police. So she finally woke me up. I had taken medicine because it was slow. I woke up, took a shower. As I had just entered the bathroom, they walked up to my bedroom.
Wow.
With guns.
Wow.
So I asked them, I said, you people, you go around the house. There is no escape where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So go and wait for me in the sitting room. I've been told you're here. And I'm now naked in the bathroom. So I opened the door. I told them, if you want to come in, you are welcome to join me. But I will take my shower, dress up, and come and interface with you. They kept guard on the bathroom door.
And with what I've come to know these people to be, I wouldn't be surprised if they went in and raped her. Look, these people, I think I'm going to read you this here. Listen here. This is Mahmoud Mamdani's slow poison. Listen here. Government violence did not subside once its undisciplined allies left the battlefields of the North. Instead, it began as early as 1986 and reached a peak in its war of revenge during Operations North in 1991, when the NRA carried out its first campaign of mass displacement alongside a series of massacre and other atrocities. One distinctive atrocity in this war was the practice of male rape, a violent message of revenge. Many respondents interviewed by Dolan recalled 1989 as the year in which the Army's 2nd Division used to do this male rape, known as Tank Gung, bend over, on any men who were arrested in rural villages. Over a period of 6 months or 7 months, to be victim of Tank Gung was regarded as worse than being killed. So they would tell you, bend over. These are NRA fighters, some of them. And look, I have been here. I've interviewed Munyarwanda Bobby. who was sodomized in a torture chamber, whose wife was raped. You've heard stories, so I wouldn't be surprised. So, it is so sad. I'm going to say this. What they did, waiting on the bathroom door with their guns pointed, whatever, in any directions, that's them actually being nice. They've done grotesque stuff you can imagine.
2 soldiers armed. God, I opened that door. I told them, I said, you guys, you are mad. Because that's madness.
Total madness.
I took my shower, dressed up, came down. I had called a lawyer who stays with my neighbor. I told him I'm under siege. And as you know, lawyers can't represent themselves. So can you come? So he came, good enough. He's our zone chairman. So he was able to call the LC chairman. And they came together. I could see the shock now that I was watching the camera. I could see the shock as they were entering, because by then I didn't see. I've just watched these videos. So they are all shocked. But I met them in the sitting room. So I told the lawyer now to take over and ask these intruders in my home what had brought them. So the person who said is the lead, he said I had shared misleading information, stroke, social media abuse. I told them, fine. So why didn't you invite me to the police station? Did you have to waste taxpayers' money? Because I don't stay far, I stay in the village. I stay in Sunday. I said, did you have to waste taxpayers' money looking for me? A person who is always on TV? Because he claimed they had investigated for some time. I said, why did you give me a call? I would have been there. I said, you guys, why are you wasting taxpayers' money? We thought about it, but we debated. And I said, fine, anyway, we are here. So what are the details of the offense? He said, no, you will find out at the station. So I said, fine. As we were leaving, a camera person took pictures of my children. So I asked them, why are you taking pictures of my children? Are they part of the offense? Because I assume if you are investigating social media, this is a post on social media. So are my children part of that social media post? I said, please stop taking pictures in my house and my children. So the children said, also we want to take pictures. Since now you are taking pictures, can we also take yours? So I think one of them took a picture. So that's how they held all the phones in my house. And said, now this is a crime scene. And took, so my children were not just left alone, but they were left without any means of communication. Yeah.
This account is startling as it is revealing. This is Museveni's overwhelming show of force. But to whom? Or against whom? Unarmed civilian. Accused of nothing apart from online expression. All for what? I've argued here that Museveni enjoys, and I don't know how these folks actually square this. They usually love to present Museveni as this warrior, Sabarangi. And I'm like, I truly understand. How about you use all that Sabarangi to fix the problems that are affecting our country? Let us see that Sabarangi persona when you go against the corrupt officials in your government. Sabarangi persona is usually used against a kid in Oman, Mordecai Murisa, in America, who says Museveni should leave power. Really? Show us of Sabarangi. Go against those corrupt folks. people who abuse their offices, the lawlessness, folks driven by impunity. Show us how tough you are. So like I've said, they say, Museveni is a tough guy. Museveni is tough. That's what they say. And the same people say, Museveni is a good man, but he's surrounded by bad people. Then I'm like, okay, isn't that the point to show your toughness? You cannot be tough, but you don't go after. Your toughness doesn't help you go after those ones who do not do their job and end up painting your government as incapable. Two things don't make any sense. They're oxymorons. He's either tough or he's not. And if he's tough, let us see it by him showing us going after those people who are failing him. Or he's just incapable. And I think he is incapable.
So I sit with a lawyer. At first I said the lawyer can drive and follow me. He said, no, they can give him a lift because they had a big coaster. And
She's a big coaster. Jeez, they're coming to So why do they come with a coaster to arrest one?
I think there was a free seater was alone on the chair he sat on. So when he sat in, he said, but you people, why don't you return the children's phones? So he said, so you are bringing Gurgezgez also out? So
These people, the arrogancy of these people, like, it is more about the image, the aura of the office. It is not the substance. It is, many people enjoy, being seen. It is like ministers in Museveni's government. They like to be driven in these cars that have sirens, and they want to have, security guards and stuff like that, bodyguards and stuff like that. And you're like, it is not about that. That is pointing at something very important that you should care about. This VIP treatment you receive is pointing at the urgency of your job, of how serious you should take it to be. But when they get these positions, they switch. They care more about the aesthetics. See me, I'm a minister. They care more about, look at people surrounding me with guns. Dude, that shouldn't be the focus. The focus is, why are you given these guards? Why are you given VIP treatment? Why do you have sirens? So that you get to work early and fix people's problems, because they're paying you to do that. But when they get there, no, let me show you, this is what I am. No. It is not about the suit I wear, this jacket. It's not about this jacket. No, it is about the substance. What am I saying? If those guys were the ones doing what I'm doing, they would rather come and be like, see me changing suits, and see me. That's all they'll be saying. It's not about how I look. It is about what I do. Jeez. It's sad that, like I usually say, we don't want to cry, so we laugh at that.
The lawyer out of the van. So I told you, we just drive and follow. Because
yeah, I think I'll let you go on and watch this entire thing. It's actually over how many minutes? Let's see. It's 34 minutes. It's pretty long. I'll show you here. 34 minutes. All right. So if you want to go on and watch it, I think the YouTube channel is called The Newsroom UG. Go on and listen to that. But I wanted to show you the extent at which Museveni's criminal regime will go to create a spectacle, to instill fear, to make a statement, to see what we are doing. Really? All for what? In a country that is poor as Uganda, you don't waste taxpayers' money in those dubious stuff. What is this pointing us to? You and I. We are bereft of leaders. We don't have leaders. It is time for you to offer yourself. If any opportunity arises, it is time for you to offer yourself for leadership, and show the right direction. The Museveni criminal regime is falling. The empire is really, really cracking. If you can't see the cracks, you must be blind. But it is really falling. And we should be getting ready to fix our country. Today is Sarah Bireete, tomorrow is another person. Let's not give them an opportunity to poison the minds of the leaders of the next generation. How do we do that? By speaking to them, by organizing, strategizing, by exposing the dirt of how they lead. That's it for now. My name is Mordecai Morisa. I hope you enjoyed that one. Please go on and watch the entire thing. You'll really, really, really enjoy it. Unbelievable. All right. I'll see you again. Bye-bye for now.